lofted in the end zone. It's Niehaus. Oh, man, that one will get in. That's a good point right there. A shot coming here. That's a goal. Lifted to left center field. Gets off the warning track into the wall. Transition three. Boom. Knocks that one down. And it's a goal. What a beautiful play. Dutton, look what I found over the first. It's a 3-on-1 all the way. Yes. There he goes.
Your home for the Bobcats. KFJB-TV.
Welcome into our final winter edition of Bobcat Live. Brandon Lewis with you. Wow, you were really excited tonight for the last one.
Yeah, let's get this over with. I mean, let's go.
Our producer, David Braga, here tonight. Dustin Peterson on with us. Our final time chatting with girls bowling for the season. And
final time.
What do you got going on tonight? It can't be much better than coming out here.
This is the highlight of my night right now. So,
wow. Anyway, we appreciate you at least coming out tonight. We could have live streamed you in maybe from your basement or something.
Maybe, yeah. It's a long drive. So.
All right, let's talk girls bowling. Monday, you were hosting right here in Marshalltown. The parking lot was packed, and, a little bit of a disappointing day for you, but, boy, the ladies battled hard for you. You mentioned your last 3 sets there in the Baker games. You bowled really, really well. It's just a little bit of a tough start. You finished 5th in the Baker games. Take me over a little bit of how that morning went for your team.
Yeah, I mean, so we started out, and I think we were doing okay, a little below our average, I would say. But in that first 5 Baker games, we were in the mix. I think at the time we might have been 4th, but we weren't that far behind. And then as we moved over into the second set, we just had some games. We had 2 games that were in the 120s, and that really kind of hurts. We need to be up in the 170s, 180s to be competitive. And I think after that, I don't know if we just relaxed or what, but once we moved down into the party area, our bowling really kind of took off, and in that 5-game set we bowled 902, which was the highest 5-game total of any team that was here that day. So we won that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you have any home bowling alley advantage? Can you just turn the lights off and get the lasers going at any point if you feel like you need a little momentum?
I think that's something we should probably work in.
Because when we were out here doing our bowl along, that was that's the fun element to the game as well. But and then in the individuals, how hard is it when you carry over? You do the Bakers, and then the individuals come up, and then maybe the Bakers didn't go how you want. You end up putting a little pressure on yourself, probably.
Well, yeah, and then there's a whole other factor in there too. I think by the time we got to that 3rd set in Bakers, the lanes were kind of breaking down to where the girls were more comfortable with them, I'd say. And so like Devin was bowling really well at that point in time. Delaney was bowling really well. And then we go into break, and I think we had maybe a little over an hour of a break. And we come back out, the lanes are all freshly oiled and ready to go, and I think the adjustment just wasn't quite ready to make that adjustment. And I know for Devin, she is definitely putting a lot of extra pressure on herself to try to qualify for state this year. And it wasn't what she wanted. Yeah. I mean, the outcome was not what she wanted. But ultimately, the girls bowled really well.
Mm-hmm. What's it like when you see them? You start off a little bit rough, and then you finally get going. That chasing pins, I guess, is probably what you're thinking, or kind of looking at a coach at the coach aspect of counting how many we need to get, that kind of thing. How tough is that?
Well, that's tough, and then also I could see her eyes glancing over to the other pair, and there's a couple of girls from I think Cedar Rapids Jefferson that were bowling okay. I mean, pretty good. Mm-hmm. And they're both girls who've qualified for state before. And she kept checking their scores, and she's like, I could just see her getting mad, And I'm like, hey, dude, just relax. Just relax. Just keep bowling. Doing what you do,
Yep.
But ultimately, I mean, she bowled her average. I think almost every girl bowled their average that day. So there's no way I could be disappointed in what we did.
Yeah, for sure. What's that like for you as a dad / coach? Do you have a cutoff for him?
No. I guess when I'm down there, I don't know. I don't think there's a separation really between the two.
Yeah. And
it's not just for her. I mean, any one of the girls can come up to me at any point in time, and I care about every single one of them. So, it's I don't see a difference in it.
Yeah.
I will say this. I kind of wish like day two we were the helpers. For day 2, and I kind of wish that maybe people can remember to be human. And people can remember that these are just kids out there bowling. Their lives are going to go on.
Yeah.
They're going to be fine. And some of the parents really kind of
put a damper on that.
Yeah, they sure do.
Yeah. And that's the thing is knowing when to just let your kid be a kid.
Yeah. Let them have some fun.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Sure.
Yeah. You only get one shot at this. Not everybody's Devin who's going to go into college, right?
Well,
people are going to do other things with their life.
Pretty much any girl who wants to, I think we can get them into a school for them. So
yeah.
But no, you're right. You're right. I mean, that's the greatest thing about high school, right? I mean, this is your 4 years to do anything and everything that you want to. Because after that, I mean, you're not playing football. You're not playing some of the other sports.
Yep. So you're teaching life lessons.
Well, I mean, hopefully. Hopefully.
That's the main goal. This is, just kind of talking with you and talking with some of the bowlers as well. It just seemed like between, Sydney May and Kennedy as well as Devin, in our bowl along, and then talking with you and some of the other girls that have been on Bobcat Live in the past. Just seems like a really tight group. I'm sure you're, especially with your daughter being on the team too, really sad to see this senior team, senior squad leave.
Oh yeah, it was definitely difficult. I would say the last couple frames there were really kind of hard to watch, knowing that I'm not going to be there to help these girls out anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yep.
I know I'm only bringing this up because you told me this during softball season last year that you weren't sure what your coaching vision or long-term aspect looked like, but that was when you were rooting for Devin to go down to Georgia or Kentucky or somewhere down there. But she's staying closer to home, so does that mean you're staying closer to home and going to be right back here with us?
Well, what it means is we'll be staying closer to home. I mean, I'll make an announcement tonight if you want me to. I do have some exciting news for the Marshalltown bowling
Ryan's
team.
right here as well.
Hey, Ryan. We will see a new coach next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sydney May is going to come back and coach with Nate and I next year.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is she going to MCC?
She's going out to MCC. She said she's got nothing else to do, and she really likes Nate. So
I can tell you guys like to have a little fun between each other, huh?
Oh.
How fun was it helping and seeing the guys get to state?
It was okay. First of all,
yeah.
There's not a lot I can do. I mean, we're up behind the counter doing things over there. We can't see, but we sure could hear them. And especially their first 5 games, it was so cool seeing the scores come in and hearing those guys, and they were loud and they were excited, and then it got a little quiet in the building for a bit, and then fortunately that roar came back there towards the end. It's great. I mean, those guys, they're really fun to watch when they get going, and I'm looking forward to seeing them next week.
Yep.
And then they're basically all juniors, so
yeah, they got a lot coming back next year for sure.
Awesome,
including a guy who has a title under his belt as well, and he's going to be on with us here coming up in Aiden.
That one there,
yeah. Nathan as well.
Oh yeah.
All right, hey, good to see you as always.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll let you get back home, okay?
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. Hey, give it up, Dustin Peterson on Bobcat Live. We'll talk boys bowling when we come back right here on KFJB-TV.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social for date night, family fun, or the company party with plenty of space for everyone. Visit Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to start planning your group outing at Wayward Social, the place for fun.
You planned and saved for your child to go to college, but medical school after graduation was a surprise. A happy, expensive surprise. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When opportunities surprise you, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Back in, Bobcat Live, and now the boys bowling team headed off to state coming up on Tuesday. Aiden Cowan, Jr. for Marshalltown boys team as well on with us. Of course, last year you were the state champ as a sophomore. Kind of looking back, how unique, how special was last year for you?
It honestly didn't even feel real for the most part of it.
What stood out in your mind after it was all said and done when you won it and kind of being at the pinnacle of your bowling career right there?
Yeah, I think most of it was the acknowledgement that I seen, especially around Marshalltown. Being on the Thompson True Value sign, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, all those special things that happen once you get to that level. All right, Nathan Clark on with us as well, head coach for the boys. Seeing him and having his success last year, how much do you think that kind of played into coming to this year to be able to have another year under his belt and help get your team to the state tournament next week?
It was definitely a good foundation to start the season off of. I mean, everyone looks at Aiden as the leader, so, I mean, it's pretty huge. Yeah. All right, so dominated on Tuesday in boys bowling, and you qualified for state for the 11th season in a row. That is, what do you say? I mean, that's pretty awesome and unique here. What do you think has led to those 11 years of success here in Marshalltown? Either of you.
A good connection between the bowlers.
Yeah.
The chemistry that some of them build together.
Yeah. When you're in practice, is that something you kind of know or work out, or are you guys just hanging out and kind of help each other, mold each other into better bowlers?
Yeah, I'd say we help each other out a lot, and a lot of the times it doesn't even feel like you're showing up to practice. You're just bowling with a bunch of friends.
Yeah. All right. Dustin told us that they practice at 6. What time in the morning?
Same time.
Same time? Okay. Yep. All right. So you're kind of, especially on these cold days, I'm sure that gets a little hard to get out and get going in the morning. But what kind of drives you to keep perfecting your bowling game?
I've done it for so long, and I love the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing could really stop me from wanting to get out of bed in the morning to do it.
What was that like when you saw at the final stat line you guys won the Bakers, Coach?
Oh, I knew we had it after about 5th game.
Okay.
So, I mean, I knew it was still a long day, but
yeah.
After those first 5, I knew we had it.
Yeah. Now, I had a chance to get and bowl a Baker game with the ladies. It is amazing how quick they go. I mean, you can be rattling off a ton of games, one after one. How do you kind of manage that it doesn't get going too fast and you guys are making the most of that of every opportunity, or do you kind of like to have it go quick and keep throwing as quick as possible?
I feel like if you stay quick and stay locked in, everything will just go smoothly and the games will just fly by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As long as you're throwing good shots, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
As long as the game is finished, and I can't think of it.
Yeah. Coach, do you set the Baker lineup different, or is it pretty much whoever's in the first is always going? And how does that kind of work when you set your lineup?
Generally, I start with the same lineup, and then I just kind of move people around on how I see them throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if someone's struggling, I'm generally going to probably put them in that 2 position, or rotate them out.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have 6 awesome bowlers, so very lucky in that aspect. But I mean, anyone can go anywhere on this team.
Yeah,
which is a huge up.
Yeah. So you have a ton coming back next year with a bunch of juniors on this team. How excited are you not only to be going Tuesday, get more experience, but also, you've got the same crew, a lot of it coming back next year.
Yeah. Goals to win state and then go back, do it again next year, and then see what happens after that. But
Yeah. All right, so Cadillac Lanes next week. What do you like about going there?
It's well kept.
Mm-hmm.
It's owned by bowlers. They know what they're doing.
What in your eyes makes a really good bowling alley or good lanes?
The condition of the environment for bowling.
Okay. So what's a good environment? Just how they set the lanes up as far as
how
whether
everything's set up, how well kept everything is.
Mm-hmm.
Their main focus as a bowling alley is the bowling.
Okay. Yeah. Nathan, what would you say kind of you're looking out of your team coming into Tuesday? Is there another team that you're eyeing that you're going after?
Somehow we're only the 7th best team going to state this year with a 31-30, so that was kind of crazy to see. But we got matched up next to Waterloo West, who's won it the last 2 years, so that'll be huge for us. And then on the other side is Waukee, who's the highest scoring team in the state, so we'll have good pace next to us, keep us motivated and keep us going. So
yeah. You feel like this team feeds off that energy and
absolutely.
Yeah.
They don't like to lose. So.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, when you look at kind of your season individually, Aiden, you threw a high game of 256 this year, which is pretty impressive. We threw the Bakers, and we got just over 100. So, I find it, bowling's one of those things where I don't do very often, but it's kind of like golf. The more you do it, the better you're going to be, the repetition. How do you kind of feel like your game is from maybe like when you started this year to being in form heading into state on Tuesday?
I feel like I've kept a pretty good pace with my scoring. I know I kept track of my average. It stayed pretty well over 200 all season from when I started. So I feel like just knowing that I've been able to keep that same pace will definitely help me at state.
Yeah. All right, Coach, how can people kind of keep track or maybe even watch state bowling coming up on Tuesday?
Show up Cadillac Lanes. Starts 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. All right. And then how long will that usually get? You're usually done around 5 or so?
Around there.
A couple hours usually is what it takes. Yeah, good deal. Well, we wish you nothing but the best of luck, and we'll be keeping an eye on you guys at state on Tuesday. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
All right, Nathan Clark and Aiden Cowan heading off to the state tournament for bowling up in Waterloo next week. Give them a round of applause. We'll be back with Mike Loopy, boys swim, as he joined me earlier today at the Marshalltown High School pool. We'll talk that coming up right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown, and they are proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat Athletics. If you want to kick off football season in a new recliner, pass the bread at a beautiful new dining set, or lay up on a luxurious sectional sofa, McGregor's is the right play. Score the mattress of your dreams with an assist from their friendly and knowledgeable staff. You'll be the household MVP when you bring home the winning selections at McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown. Open 7 days a week.
Welcome back into Bobcat Live. We're at the Marshalltown High School pool. We're joined by head coach Mike Lupi. You guys have your banquet tonight for swim, so thanks for joining us on Bobcat Live anyway. And I tell you what, another tremendous season. We'll talk about state here in a moment, but this group accomplishing a long history of success in the swim program. How fun was it to coach these guys?
This was a really fun bunch. Every team. As they go through, the seniors 4 years, but every team has its own personality. And this was a very first and foremost what the coaches look for is it was a very hardworking group, and we had a lot of improvement in the water and on paper as far as time drops go. But these kids, they just came in every day. They knew we were going to pretty much pound on them, and they still had a pretty happy-go-lucky, fun attitude, led by the seniors. Co-captain Charlie Gilbertson, kid had a smile on his face, and the harder the practice got, the bigger the grin on Charlie's face. Sam Griesel, another senior co-captain, great leader. Sam would come in, and he was just always joking, and he was always trying to see if he could get some kind of a playful rise out of me. And so it kind of
wasn't too hard, was it?
No, yeah. It evolved to I basically ignored Sam, and then Lincoln Barker, the other co-captain, who's kind of a quiet kid, he even had his little things that he would do just to make sure that there was a lighthearted air in practices, but it never took away from the work ethic. So this group, I will probably pretty much remember as playful and fun, and they found ways to have fun even throughout the dog days of winter and the hard practices.
And then not only having fun, but also having success, which I'm sure kind of helped in that. And you sent a nice group to state this year. Individually, Lincoln Barker competing, and Sam Griesel as well. Those two guys, Lincoln 30th in the 200 free, Sam Griesel 28th in the breaststroke, and 31st in the individual medley. So tell me about
Charlie and the butterfly.
And Charlie and the butterfly. Yeah, I can't forget about Charlie. But those guys competing individually, their work ethic, what goes on behind the scenes that people may not see when they come out and they watch them go down the lanes?
Well, we always kind of say swimming is kind of a highly respected sport once every 4 years when people watch the Olympics. And these kids very much mirror that. Everybody watches the Olympics, they watch the USA win gold, and they think, oh, wow, swimming. And those people make it look very easy. Same thing with our guys. What people don't understand about swimming is the hours and hours and hours of swimming and training. We spent 3 days a week in the weight room. We spent anywhere from 3 to 5 hours a day in the pool. And while other sports have a grind to them, there's something very unique about the work that's required in swimming, because all you're doing is going back and forth, following a black line on the bottom of the pool, and the water isolates you. If you're on a 10-mile run in cross country, you've got a guy on your shoulder and you can talk to, and you can encourage each other through. Swimming is isolating in that work, and so that makes it unique. But these three guys that swam in the individual events this year, they led their sets. They led their lane and they led their set every day. And all three of those guys never missed a practice. So you throw in winter, you throw in cold and flu season, you throw in Thanksgiving, you throw in Christmas and New Year's. There's a lot of things that pull kids away from practice. Those three kids didn't miss a practice, and we had over 70 of them. So that speaks very highly of their dedication and their work ethic. And that's something that probably more than anything I'm extremely proud of for those young men.
Yeah. Also, you had a couple relays there at State. Tell me kind of your thoughts on how they performed and how that was kind of watching them, because there's just a ton of competition at State.
Oh, yeah. It goes back to the district meet, and we were seated in the medley relay. We were seated 6th, and we got 2nd. To qualify the med. The 200 free relay, we moved up a spot at districts and we qualified. And then the 400 free relay, we dropped 9 seconds. And you look at the 5-year average and the fastest cutoff times for the last 5 years, and we were 2.5 seconds below that, and we didn't qualify it. Coach Delaney and I were literally stunned at the fact that that 400 free relay did not get in. So the competition for swimming and just how much better it gets every year is amazing. And especially in a state like Iowa, people don't think that. But the med got in, the 200 free relay got in, the medley relay cut another 1.1 seconds, and we maintained our 18 seating. We talk a lot about we can control what goes on in our lane. We can't control what goes on in everybody else's. We took our taper at districts to get there. So to maintain taper was our goal, and maybe squeeze out just a little more time. The med, we dropped another 1.1 seconds, and we stayed at 18th. The 200 free relay, we even moved up a couple of spots. Our underclassmen did a great job. Michael Lechner, senior, led off with close to a lifetime best time, and then Jacob Seeberger and Cade Randall both cut over a half a second off their splits, and that's where we got that's where most of our 1.1 second drop came from, was from our 2 underclassmen. And then Lincoln Barker anchored it, and he had a lifetime best as well. So that's how you move up. And the high level programs that have 40 kids that swim year-round, the Ankeneys, the Waukees, the Valleys of the world, they take their time drops at state. So I was very proud that we pretty much maintained where we were at. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's the I guess you could say advantage or disadvantage to be not having a year-round swim, but it does offer, a lot of other kids opportunities, like at the middle school. And I think you've been kind of involved in your coaching history and in helping at least get somewhat of a trial period for those middle schoolers to be able to try the sport out if they haven't been exposed to it.
Yeah, I hats off to the Miller Middle Schools program. Years ago, Angie Nelson and I, the first 2 years, we volunteer coached it just to get it off the ground. And they have, I don't know how many kids they've got. I know they've got over 40. And it's for kids that have never tried it, that maybe want to give it a taste. Swimming is a sport. You get out of it what you put into it. And if a kid wants to show up and work hard, we have kids this year that came out for swimming that had no competitive background, and we literally didn't know if they could go in the deep end the first week, and they wound up doing phenomenal things, dropping close to 30 seconds in a 50, which was kind of a first major goal, and I think they all had a really great time, and I hope they're all back next year. But the middle school program does a great job of exposing them. It's only about 3.5, 4 weeks. But they get a couple of meets. They get to ride a bus to an away meet. We host a meet, and they get the flavor of what a swim meet is like, and hopefully they catch fire, and we get a few of them to come when it's high school time.
Yeah, for sure. So Charlie, I had heard maybe some rumblings, and then Charlie Gilbertson full on told everybody that, of course, you are retiring here, and and then he went into Coach Delaney's taking over, and then Coach Delaney said, "Let's pump the brakes on that." But what made right now kind of the right time for you?
Oh, I don't know. A whole plethora of things just made it feel right. I've always said there has to be, since I retired from teaching 5 years ago, I've always said there's 3 questions that have to be yes at the end of the season, and I've always taken some time to reflect. Number one, first and foremost, is my wife. She's been very, very supportive of me being a coach and knowing that that's my passion. And she has wanted me to stay home more. And each year she said, if that's what you need to do, you do it. And so that's always been a yes. Am I having fun? Do I enjoy coming to the pool? And that's always been yes. And do I see us being able to be some level of successful? Do I see possibilities of school records, winning dual meets, getting to the state competition? And that's always been yes. And early on in the season this year, I realized that I want to make sure the answer is yes to all 3 of those questions before I decide to be done. I didn't feel it would ever be a service to a group of kids to be in the middle of the season wishing I had gone the year before. So we're on a high note. There's some really good talent in the underclassmen, for the underclassmen. So Coach Delaney won't have the barn isn't going to be empty, so to speak. And this was a really good senior class to see all the way through. And at the state meet, I got a 35-year service award, so 35 seems like a good number to be done. So just a lot of things. And my twins are getting to an age where I want to spend more time with them. And so just all the pieces kind of fit together and said it's time to be done. Yeah. And I know Ray swam for me. When he was in high school, he even went to my alma mater and swam. So we have a very close connection, and he's very enthusiastic, very energetic and knowledgeable. I know the program is in great hands. Yeah. Now he pumped the brakes because he has to go through an application process. But I am 99% hopeful that Ray will be our next head coach.
Yeah, that is for sure. What was that like for you, and what was it like to coach him? He goes to Luther just like you did, and now he comes back. He's your assistant. That's got to be a pretty unique, cool experience for you.
It's very special, and he floated around. He had a couple of different jobs in different communities, waiting for his opportunity to teach here. He's here now. He's in the building. He's a Marshalltown boy. His wife is a Marshalltown. Jordan's a Marshalltown girl, and I see them, here for careers.
35 years, like you.
That's more up to Jordan than Ray, but and I think I'm very proud of the fact that Marshalltown has a lot of longevity in their coaching. Al Feenup started the program in 56, 58, and coached a lot of years. And then Dick McBride was the next coach. And then I've been Marshalltown's only had 3 head coaches in the history of swimming. And so Ray will hopefully be the 4th of that. And it'll be a very long time before we look for number 5.
That's awesome stuff. All right, so I'm sure everybody's wondering, what are you going to do now?
Any man that's married is basically going to say whatever my wife wants. But there's some travel in the future, and even next swim season. And one of those pieces that fit, several things came up as soon as I announced that I was going to retire, and this was the last season. A couple of former swimmers contacted me, and they want me to go scuba diving with them in November. So I'm going to be diving the Blue Hole in Belize with a couple of my former swimmers. Another former lady swimmer who is in the Navy is getting married in Nashville over Thanksgiving, a 5-day affair, where she's asked me to be a co-officiant. So a lot of things came up that filled my calendar that I won't be around to miss practice. So I'm going to figure out ways to be busy.
I bet you will. By the way, I know you always go to Mexico and go swimming. So have you ever been next to a great white or a tiger shark or anything like that? Any close calls?
Not from a safety standpoint, but I have tugged the tail of a nurse shark a couple of times. We have been within just a few feet of whale sharks. Okay. So giant manta rays just above your head. So a lot of cool things in the Caribbean to scuba dive for. So
be careful out there, all right?
Always try. I just do whatever the dive master tells me. So.
Well, it's always been a lot of fun to talk to you on Bobcat Live. We appreciate your time and enjoy retirement, Mike.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
That is Mike Lupi with our Bobcat Live segment on the road here once at Marshalltown High School pool. We'll be back and we'll talk to head coach Mike Apple for the boys basketball team when we come back on Bobcat Live on KFJB-TV.
YMCC, competitive athletics, affordable tuition, on-campus living, online courses plus 2 campus locations, unique programs, career training, small classes, short-term hands-on training. Choose MCC.
Back in on Bobcat Live, getting a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Lupi of boys swimming there. And you and I were kind of chatting, but him leaving the program and retiring, I know he retired from teaching a few years back, but then to retire now, he had such a great senior class this year for boys swimming. What's Mike kind of meant to that program and athletic department overall?
That's a great question. Mike's meant a lot, to me personally. He's a good friend of mine too. I consider him a good friend, and
because he's from Newton,
he is a Newton guy. Yep. So we've exchanged. He gives me a hard time. I think, one of his oldest kids about my age. So, and we've had some mutual friends from Newton. So it's been kind of cool to connect with him in that regard as well. But yeah, he's meant a lot. He's had such a tremendous impact on student athletes over the years, and it's going to be hard to replace him, but I know he won't be a unfamiliar face to swimming in Iowa. He'll still officiate. He officiates for the state girls swim meet as well, and he'll officiate our meets. So he'll still be around, but yeah, it's tough to see him go. And just talking with former swimmers and the parents, that everyone loves Coach Lupi and what he's done for the swim program. So just extremely happy that he's been able to, or at least go out when he wants to go, and it was his decision to do so, and he's happy with it, and he's obviously, like you talked to him, he's got a lot of plans. So
he's not going to be bored in retirement.
No, but he's meant a lot to the athletic department and just the swim program as a whole. Can't say enough about the guy.
Yeah, for sure. He talked a little bit about his wife, but his wife very supportive, and I'm sure, a lot of coaches feel that way, a spouse, being supportive, because it is, some long nights. Some nights you're not getting home till 11 or midnight or whatever it may be, and I'm sure you kind of know in that role, in the AD role, if things pop up, you got to be around. So the commitment to not only by the head coach, but also the families as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, any head coach needs, or assistant coach needs supportive spouse, and yeah, I think having her, Mrs. Lupi in the building as well, and has been a tremendous help. But yeah, lots of support at home for our coaches goes a long way for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Past couple of weeks, as we're talking with AD Ryan Isgrig on Bobcat Live, scheduling wise has not been easy for you, I would imagine, with the late starts and the early dismissals and everything. This kind of time of year, I'm sure for ADs, you're constantly looking what's going on here and what's going on there, aren't you?
It can wear on you, I'll tell you that. But I guess I owe you guys a thank you for staying late last night too. So yeah, it's been tough, but it's a lot of those decisions are out of your control, and of teams coming here or rescheduling, but you never know what's going to happen, and it's tough too, because you get to the end of the season, and swimming, for example, is trying to go to, getting ready for state. The wrestling is getting ready for districts, and then they're told, well, you guys can't practice today because the district made that decision. So that's never a fun conversation to have. But
no.
Again, I always say too, at this point in the year, not one practice is going to make or break your season at this point. So just let's make the best of it, and can't control the weather at the end of the day. So that's kind of the philosophy we live by, and I think our coaches have handled that the best they can.
Yeah. Districts, obviously a week ago for wrestling, and now or a couple weeks ago, I guess you would say, and now state tournament wrestling going on. A really good start yesterday. Xavier Anderson had a winning day. Yohan Gomez, Nick Wise as well, and then Colby Cross. He was able to get to state tournament. I know he's bowed out, I believe, of the tournament, but everybody else is still going. As of last time I checked, everybody was still going. I know Xavier is on to semifinals, I believe.
Yeah. It's been a few years since we've had a boy on the podium, since Carson Williams and Julian Gomez a few years ago. So it's great, Xavier, no matter what, has made the podium, and he's eyeing more than that. Obviously, he's looking for a state title. And then Nick Wise, last week at districts, he got tech-fouled by that kid, got beat 15-0 or whatever it was. And he only got beat 1-0 today by that same kid who hasn't lost the match all year. So he was right there with them. Nick has the Des Moines East kid tomorrow who he's beaten this year. So hopefully he can get that. He wins one match, he's on the podium. And Johan had a tough match with the Bettendorf kid, but I'm confident. Hopefully tomorrow he wrestles an ADM kid, and if he gets by him, he'll make the podium as well. So, like I said, it's been a few years, and I think we were watching it in PE today with Coach Delaney. Actually had it on the live stream. So one of the kids said, he goes, "I don't think I've ever seen Coach Cross that excited before." He's so laid back. So
he is.
I did text him that. I said, "Well, you look pretty jacked up," and he said, "We were excited." So we could tell. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that is. And I saw that Isaiah Cox, new girls wrestling coach, but he also kind of doubles over his time to help out with the boys program as well. What's that higher mid? Getting 2 girls to state this year, both of them freshmen, and then being able to help the boys program, but then also be that sole leader of the girls wrestling program. What's that meant to have that role filled for you?
Yeah, Isaiah's been a blessing, I'd say. He's done a tremendous job, and I think the program, you're going to see the numbers keep going. One thing that helps a lot too is he's in the building, as one of our safety and security officers, so he can recruit kids, and kids love him, and he's going to keep building it. And his excitement, you probably saw him about out on the mat before. I think he's been talked to by an official a few times this year, but he gets so excited. But it's awesome. We love Coach Zay, and good things are going to keep happening for our girls wrestling program. With his leadership, for sure.
Yeah, you love it when you come across those coaches with the kind of infectious personality like him. It's always good to see, and I know that kind of bleeds into he coaches football and all that kind of thing. And to be able to have somebody kind of universal like that, I know there's quite a few coaches that double over or they help out with this or that. To be able to have that flexibility, because sometimes, like officiating, coaching, sometimes it can be kind of hard to fill certain positions.
Yeah, absolutely can, and it's one thing I like. Coaches who like to coach or help in multiple things. Those are the coaches you definitely want to stick around, and be part of your program, because and those are the ones too. In my mind, they need to go to the top of the application list, because they want to spend the extra time with kids. They don't want to go home at 4 o'clock, and so those are the people we want working with our kids, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's been a fun winter season. Hard to believe that spring is right around the corner. I know that girls soccer has a good amount coming back. The leading scorer for boys soccer is coming back. I know there's a lot of good track athletes coming back, and then tennis has continued to have success over the past few years, and it looks to be a really fun spring coming forward.
It's hard to think about spring right now with this weather, isn't it? But
that is true. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. There's been a lot of great memories this winter. But you're going to talk to the girls basketball team. First of all, so much to be proud of with their first postseason win since 2011. So that's been awesome. The boys, I think back to that Waterloo East game when they pulled that off at home, and lots to be proud of this winter, and look forward to this spring. And you touched on some of it, and just talking with Coach Fiskus the other day, it's our last spring with girls tennis in the spring before it moves to the fall, and I said, no pressure, but you need to repeat as conference champs. So, and he, probably come between us and down to us and Ames again. So that'll be a fun one for people to follow.
Yeah. Last question for you, because I drove by the other day, and I know in the fall the softball complex, the stands were ripped out. So how's that project going to move forward heading into the spring?
Yeah, those bleachers are up. They look great.
They're already up.
The bleachers.
I must have missed it. Okay.
It's hard to see past that frozen tundra down there right now. The bleachers are up. Press box will be going up once the weather gets a little better. But
okay.
They're definitely a needed upgrade down there for the softball field. And our baseball lights got upgraded as well to LED. So. Hopefully more upgrades to come in the future, but really happy where things are at least with those improvements in the near future.
Yeah, I got to putting together our broadcast schedule for baseball, softball, so I was already thinking one sport at a time, though. I know.
That's right. Yep.
Hey Ryan, good to talk to you, and have fun. Are you going down to state wrestling at all? Or
I'm planning on going tomorrow, and of course I'll be up in Waterloo on Tuesday, watching our boys hopefully bring home a state title. I know Coach Nate's not here anymore, but I joked with him the other day. It's the 3 guaranteed things in life: death, taxes, and Marshtown boys bowling make it to state. Those are the 3 guarantees.
11 years in a row.
11 years in a row.
That's pretty awesome, and something to kind of hang our hat on here in Marshalltown. That is for sure.
Absolutely.
So, All right. Thanks for the time. Ryan Isgrig on with us. We're going to switch gears and talk basketball when we come back. This is Bobcat Live from Wayward Social on KFJB-TV.
Do you know Lennox Employees Credit Union makes loans for recreational vehicles? So if you'd rather be enjoying this winter on a snowmobile, the Lennox Employees Credit Union makes loans for them. Plus ATVs, jet skis, boats, and trailers. The loan process is so easy. Loans for used vehicles like campers and snowmobiles are available too. Get rate info at lennoxecu.com. Fun things up with help from Lennox Employees Credit Union. 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA.
At Greg Young Automotive, we're more than just a dealership. We're a part of your community. We believe in transparent pricing with no hidden tricks or gimmicks. Just honest deals you can trust. Our commitment to fair pricing and supporting our local communities is why so many choose us. Greg Young Automotive, where integrity drives us and you home. Visit any of our 6 locations across the state and experience the Greg Young difference, where we'll go the extra mile for you.
Back in on Bobcat Live. Thanks to everybody coming out tonight as we talk boys basketball. Coach, have you missed me? We haven't done an interview together in almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I haven't known what to do with my time. I'm like, I got to get back to Bobcat Live.
Is your wife like, get out of the house? I'm seeing you too much right now.
Yeah, that's the case. Yeah.
Some scheduling issues due to winter weather. Des Moines East was canceled last week. Council Bluffs, Thomas Jefferson on Tuesday was canceled due to the weather. So what's this kind of layoff? You haven't played since last Tuesday at Lincoln.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy, obviously, because we've been excited to play, and against 2 opponents we feel like, we could beat, obviously. So it's tough in that aspect. So we've tried to get creative in ways to keep our guys engaged and keep meaningful practices and so forth. And we gave them yesterday off, had them kind of just have an optional shooting deal, and we went hard today, and we'll go hard tomorrow and Sunday and continue to prepare for Mason City.
Mason City going to be your opponent in Class 4A, region number 4. Winner of that game will go on to play Linn-Mar. But when you look at the matchup, you went up there and they dominated. They came down here. You guys dominated them. So kind of split during the regular season. When you kind of prepare for that third time around, what are you kind of looking for in this matchup?
A lot of things we did the second game. I thought our execution was great. Defensive game plan was awesome, and our guys really executed well. And we played extremely hard and understood kind of the guys we had to take away, and some of the guys we'd take chances on. And we did a really nice job on 2 of their best players, number 3 and number 45, the big guy inside. They combined for 2 for 18, I think, or something like that from the field. So we did a really nice job of really limiting and what they could do and making it hard for them. And it's going to take that again, obviously, and we got to make sure we rebound a lot better like we did at home. And we didn't do a great job there, and that kind of got them going early on when we played them there. Is they got a lot of second and third chance points. We didn't do a good job of taking care of ball against them there. They pressured us a little more. We played a little different the 2 times we played them. That first time at home, they kind of pressured us more, tried to full court press us, and they got some steals and some easy baskets that way. So we got to be prepared for that and make sure we take care of the ball and defend the way we did against them at our place.
Yeah, because you mentioned it. Ty Sanchez Evans. He was just shut down in the game at home. That was your your best defensive performance that we've seen this year, and to be able to go out and dominate it like that, replicating it. You just kind of talked about it a little bit, but kind of that aspect of postseason play, it turns it up a notch, the intensity, getting your guys going. How do you make sure on the offensive side, obviously you bring the defense, but the offense, you haven't played in a couple weeks, even if you're rusty, is it just that mentality of, hey, you just got to keep going? Yeah,
we kind of expect, you can go in with a game plan. Obviously that could change and they could do something different, but just based on what we've seen on film, we kind of have an idea what they're going to do defensively. So we've been practicing that a lot, understanding where we can get open, understanding when we can be aggressive to the rim, and adding a few wrinkles here and there to get us easy baskets, hopefully early on to get us going. and get us in a good rhythm.
Yeah. Excuse me. Monday night, postseason play starts at 7 o'clock. We'll have that game for you right here on KFJB-TV. I was really looking for the Council Bluffs-Thomas Jefferson game, though, because it would have been number 1 and number 2 in Class 4A, and the three-point shooters would have been a really good game. But you guys are going to try to play them next year at home, potentially?
That's what they say.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So
we'll hold out hope.
Well, hopefully they keep their word and come here. We'll see.
Yeah, that is for sure. Well, hopefully the ladies are an inspiration to you guys. They got a first-round victory last night, and that was good to see. They're going to take on Ankeny Centennial coming up on Saturday, so a busy weekend of preparation for postseason play. Coach, we'll talk to you Monday, and don't miss me too much in the meantime, all right?
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right. Hey, Coach Mike Apple, we'll talk to a couple of the boys basketball players, Levi Bell, Zane Moore, when we come back. This is Bobcat Live from Wayward Social on KFJB-TV.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Legends American Grill is the perfect place to watch your favorite team. Enjoy wings, nachos, steaks, and prime rib available on Friday and Saturday nights. It's game on for great food and your favorite drink to wash it down. You like burgers? Legends has fantastic, unique burger creations like this. The Legends Burger. Absolutely delicious. Gather with friends, enjoy your favorite team's games with the NFL Sunday Ticket, and make some memories. Legends American Grill in Marshalltown and our new Newton location, where the game is always on.
Welcome back in on Bobcat Live. There you take a look at Jamison Niehaus, Drake Gersma. They moved up to the front. Jamison said he was nervous for you guys. So who's more nervous, you guys or Jamison right now?
Honestly, I'd say us, but
yeah. I feel like they're taunting by moving up here.
No, definitely.
They're trying to get you laughing or something's going on here.
Definitely.
Drake, you got that look on your face. There we go. All right, Zane Moore and Levi Bell on with Bobcat Live here tonight. Guys, thanks for coming out. Zane, talk to me a little bit about it. I'm sure past month or so has been a little bit disappointing, not out there. Knee injury, and again, kind of a same knee injury that you battled through. So tell me a little bit about your injury that you're going through and how your kind of recovery process is.
Actually, it was in my leg.
It was your leg.
Yeah,
okay,
so
all right.
Stress
your right
fracture.
leg.
Yeah.
Stress fracture.
Yeah,
okay.
so my tibia and fibula.
Okay.
So, yeah, obviously it sucks. Just gotta do a lot of PT, get ready for next season. Football, get ready for that.
Yeah.
Just, a lot of resting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the one thing is, like, we talked a little bit to others that have been injured before, Jackson Bowie a couple years ago, and, we talked to Mara Johnson as well, battling through those. How much has, the trainers at the school and things like that kind of helped you through this process in your recovery?
Actually, right now, we don't have a trainer at the school currently.
Where's Avery?
He left to go. I think he got a new job somewhere.
Avery left? No one told me.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in weeks.
It was like at the end of football season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so.
All right.
No trainers at the school right now.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Leaving you in the dust like that.
Yep.
All right, so what are you doing?
Obviously go to the doctor, like orthopedic doctor,
Mm-hmm.
talk to them. I'm going up to, actually, I think it's Minnesota. We try to get up there. But,
okay.
And then Sports Plus.
Yeah.
I've went there a couple times, but I think we're going to try McFarland for PT.
Okay. All right. So, one of those things when you're going through the PT process, you're not trying to lose any strength, but you're also not trying to overdo it. How do you kind of manage to make sure your limitations in recovery?
Honestly, I just listen to what the physical trainer has to say. Just do the workouts they choose for me because, obviously they know best. But
yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, we wish you nothing but the best of luck in your recovery process. As you kind of watch your teammates, how much is it, like AD Ryan Isgrig was on, he talked about the Waterloo East win, being able to see your teammates and still kind of enjoy those fun victories and being able to cheer that on. How much have you kind of taken that, to heart to be able to, still support your teams even though you're not able to be out there?
Yeah, it's really nice to support. Honestly, it's just fun to see the guys out there and just do their thing. Get the win.
Yeah. All right, so tell me about Levi. You guys were here together. What makes tell me something about Levi. I need some quick facts on Levi Bell.
Like sports-wise or
just anything.
I mean, he's a funny guy, I guess.
He's funny? Okay. Levi, you got any jokes to tell?
About what? Obviously I could, but I don't want to hurt his feelings.
We're on YouTube. We're not on radio tonight, so they could be somewhat offensive, I suppose. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so what else? What else about Levi should we know?
I don't know. I mean,
what else does Levi do during the year? What other activities does Levi?
He plays football. Are you doing track this year?
Might. But it's just
might.
weekend, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Those are the only two I can
I just wanted to see how well Zane could sell Levi coming into the segment here, but he kind of let you down, didn't he?
Yeah.
All right, Levi, you played in a few varsity games this year. I know you played the JV level as well, too. So how do you kind of use that JV experience to kind of help better your game?
Well, the JV experience, it's kind of like playing at the Y, Just kind of just try to score or try to help your other players score. So when you get to JV or get to varsity, it allows you to kind of have that mindset of if you mess up, just keep playing. So then you can just keep going through it, battle through messes up or things you mess up.
So how much, when you're at the JV level, obviously you have your own coach, but then when you're on the bench or in a game in the varsity level, being able to learn from Coach B or Coach Apple, that kind of thing, how much do you feel like you've kind of soaked in from those coaches about how to develop your game or things that maybe you didn't see that they're pointing out?
Well, there's definitely a lot more that I soak in, because I practice with him every day. So he's kind of always there to kind of, he's always in my ear, telling me, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. So when you kind of go down to JV, you don't really have that. So it's just kind of like a different experience because the coaches on varsity, they're kind of more, they're more on you about it. Like the JV coaches, they kind of just let you play, but they're, they want you to play your best, stuff like that. So
yeah. How long have you been playing basketball?
Since second grade.
Okay.
That's been a while. So yeah.
What do you love about the game?
It's just, I don't know, when you're on the court, everything that you're kind of dealing with, so problems at school, stuff like that, just kind of goes away. All you think about is scoring or playing with your friends. It's just clears your mind.
Yeah. Zane, I've heard you talk a lot about football, so is that number one for you?
Honestly, yeah, I'd say that's my number.
Getting out there a wide receiver?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely need you this year, going out there a wide receiver. Hopefully, you're at full health. How long have you been playing basketball as well?
Honestly, I started pretty late. I started in, I want to say, 7th grade, at least seriously. I played Y basketball, but that's not really...
Oh, come on. It can get pretty intense at the Y,
Yeah, I started playing competitive basketball, I'd say, around 7th grade.
7th grade, yeah. I was going to ask you because, my stepkids are at Miller, but how looking back, as you guys kind of look back. Miller gives an opportunity for you guys to try out a lot of different sports. How pivotal was that for you, Levi, to maybe try out something different that you had never experienced before?
Well, the sports, I kind of been playing the same sport since I got to Miller, so I never really tried wrestling or swim, but like I kind of wish I did because I never got exposed to them. But like when I was younger, I swam, like just swimming. But,
yeah.
Like I don't know, I kind of just wish I would have tried wrestling because it just looks fun, and it has kind of that. It's you versus another player. It's like a one-on-one. So.
Yeah. So what do you think about Xavier Anderson when you see him? Because he walks around with a lot of swag, man. That guy's
well,
he's a pretty good wrestler, that's for sure.
He hasn't lost yet. I don't know.
He has not. He's on to the semis.
Yeah.
So.
Well, kids like the teachers, they have the games on the board sometimes, so we got to watch. Well, I see Nick wrestle. I got updates of Colby wrestling yesterday, but I didn't get to actually see it because the teacher wasn't trying to pay the subscription.
It's not cheap. They don't give those things away. All right, Zane. What other things are you involved in during the year when you're, not battling back through an injury?
Honestly, as of right now, just basketball, football. But I would love to do track, but the past 2 years I haven't been able to, obviously, because I've been injured.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. I mean, I played baseball like 8th grade, technically freshman year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, last question for you. Tell me what's the game plan heading into Monday night? What do we got to do well to win?
Honestly, we just have to put our game faces on. Just be ready to compete.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we haven't been ready and it hasn't gone our way. Yeah, just really got to be ready.
Yeah. Levi?
Well, we know our assignments. We know what we have to do, but we just have to perform.
Yeah.
We know when we played them the first time, we weren't ready to play. We didn't go down there locked in, anything like that. But when they came here, we know what we had to do. We studied film, all that. So going down there the second time, we got to make sure that we're ready to play and
get the job done.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Give it up. Zane Moore, Levi Bell, Bobcat Live. We'll talk girls basketball when we come back right here on KFJB-TV.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social for date night, family fun, or the company party with plenty of space for everyone. Visit Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to start planning your group outing at Wayward Social, the place for fun.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
Back in our final winter edition of Bobcat Live as we round out the night with a couple of segments. We'll have our roundtable with girls basketball in just a little bit, but assistant coach and JV coach DJ Norm on with us here tonight. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
You drew the you drew the short straw tonight.
Did to save the best for last.
That is true. I was begging and pleading for you to come on so we could talk a little bit about the JV level. I feel like over the past couple of years, obviously numbers down just a little bit, so it feels like some of the players have been stolen away that you might normally see at the JV level. So how do you kind of, as a coach of the JV level, kind of just manage, this is what we have and this is kind of what we work with?
Yeah, we kind of start the season. I assess a little bit of what we have for talent-wise. We kind of figure out what system works for us, We can run this year we ran a 1-3-1 zone quite a bit. The girls adapted well to it, did pretty well to it. They were aggressive. And then, we try to simulate the offense with the varsity runs and
Mhm.
go through the motions there. But they did well. They work hard. They're fun
Mhm.
to have. They're good kids.
Yeah. There's quite a few players that I could name, like Mallory Myronen. I know she plays at the JV level, but then also, like Wednesday night, last night, she got experience to get out there in the varsity game. Sometimes when I ask some of the younger players, like, what's it like JV and then varsity, they're kind of, they're not really sure how to. But when you kind of assess it at that level, how much, like, take Mallory, for example, how much have you seen her game grow from game one in JV to now being able to go out there and perform?
Quite a bit. She come to open gyms a lot this summer, so see her there, and then just her jump shot's grown a lot this year. She's got more confidence, and she drives with purpose now instead of standing straight up, and she knocked out a lot of threes this year for us, which was pretty fun to have at a JV level as a freshman.
Yeah.
So, fun player to have. She's going to get better as she grows, and deadly shooter. It's going to be fun to watch her get better.
Yeah, for sure. We saw her in warm-ups. I kind of feel like the nerves were a little on her on Wednesday getting at the JV level, which that could be hard as a freshman. But we've seen quite a few freshmen come through. Amaro was playing last year as a freshman, and Frankie has played as a freshman. And you can go down the line. Ellie was playing as a freshman as well. So being in that spot, what do you kind of tell some of those younger players, or what does Brian or Megan kind of tell some of the to not get caught up in the moment kind of thing?
Just go out there, play freely, enjoy the moment when you're out there. Obviously, you're 14 years old. You're a freshman in high school playing varsity basketball. You're not going to be perfect. There's a lot of room to grow. You have 4 years to play, so you don't expect the ceiling right away, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So they just got to keep working at it. And summer and the off season, that's where you get better.
How fun has it been to be involved with the varsity this year? I mean, this is the winningest program that the Bobcats have had since the 06-07 season. Got a postseason victory, a huge one on Wednesday, and only giving up 1 point through 3 quarters. It's just, coming in, third best defense in Class 5A, and ton of blocks last night, 7 blocks, 18 steals. What was that night overall, if you could kind of sum it up?
It was pretty fun.
Yeah. To quote Georgia Jansen, right?
Yeah. No, they played great basketball. They played good team basketball. The assists were really good last night as well, which is more fun to watch as a coach when they're dishing a diamond. We made down shots we should have made, and it was good to see.
Yeah.
So they're all fun kids to be around, and I enjoy being around them when I get to. So
yeah. Number 4, Ankeny Centennials on the next step as you continue on in Class 5A playoffs and reach it. And number 4, I guess your key to victory to get the job done against a really good Jaguar squad.
Got to play good defense. We're working this week on what we need to do and get accomplished. We'll have to knock down shots and control the ball, but we're going to work at it, and our defense will hopefully win us the game.
Coach said he likes the height advantage.
We do.
Yeah.
We've got a size advantage, which team of caliber we're about to play doesn't usually happen, so it's good to have that advantage.
Yeah, well, you can't teach height,
Nope.
can you, Frankie?
Maybe balance.
DJ, thanks so much.
Yep,
Good to see you, as always. DJ Norm on with us. We'll wrap up Bobcat Live when we come back. This is KFJB-TV.
Marshalltown Community School District announces that preschool sign-up is going on now for children who will be 4 on or before September 15th. Sign up early as spaces do fill up. Marshalltown's preschool program ensures every child has access to high-quality early education in a welcoming and supportive environment. The preschool program is tuition-free with no fees to sign up. Contact the preschool coordinator at 641-754-1000 for more information. You'll need proof of your child's age, address, and immunization records in order to sign up.
Some say life is like a road trip. Is it a coincidence Scooter's Coffee is a drive-thru? We don't think so. Whether you need a coffee while you enjoy the view, to just get you through the long stretch, or to refuel between stops, Scooter's Coffee is there, brewing up delicious coffee, espresso blenders, smoothies, iced drinks, and more, with the convenience of a drive-thru so you can stay on the road and enjoy the ride. So go ahead, scoot on around. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooters in Marshalltown.
All right, welcome back into Bobcat Live, our final segment of the night. with the ladies. All right, John Pork is calling. What's going on here, Naya?
The final boss.
The final boss. No one's giving it up. They have a John Pork is calling team theme shirt. It's an inside joke, but no one's willing to share. Georgia? All right. Are we wearing these for warm-ups on Saturday? What's going on? Really? Does Ankeny Centennial get the inside joke? No. You're going to... Okay. Well, the pig face, I don't really... I don't know if we could see that on TV. Wow. That's... Are we... I just need to know, are we accepting or declining that call? We're accepting it. Why?
Because it's John Pork.
Wow. Whose phone is this down here, Georgia? Why is it on the floor? You're going to make me step on that. All right, I'll pass the mic around. What happens in Ellie? You prompted me to ask this question about what's everybody's favorite warm-up song. So does everybody get to pick, and then you go out of the locker room, or what's going on?
You want me to hold it? Okay, so it's me or Morgan. We have our phones, but we are just getting ready, and we like listen to music, and we like jam out. Basically, yeah. Okay. All right. You want to go around?
All right, what's our warm-up song then?
I don't know.
Wow, how did I... Kinsley doesn't like movies, but does she like music?
I don't know. Yeah.
Does anybody want to say what their favorite warm-up song is? Okay, all right. Frankie does. She's not shy.
Me and Ellie like Waterfalls by TLC.
Wow. Don't go chasing waterfall. My sister had that CD back in the way. Wow, that's an interesting one. That doesn't usually get me pumped up. That makes me kind of sad, actually. It's like a sad song. There's another TLC song that's really good that would pump you up better than... No Scrubs is ish, kind of. Scrub... I'm trying to think of the song. I know it. Wow! Yes! There, we got some... Yeah, the moms know what's going on here. Anyway, all right. So anybody else got a pump-up song? Amira, I know you got a pump-up song, huh? Is it DMX? Because he's... Got that dog in you, Amira! The other day, I'm there to record a Cat Connection, and Amira just barks at me. Ruff! And then somebody goes, "She got that dog in her." All right, what's your pump-up song?
Me and Morgan listen to 9 by Drake a lot.
Okay. All right, 9 by Drake. Any Lamar or not Lamar, or Kendrick Lamar. There we go. Any Kendrick Lamar fans? Who won the battle? Georgia?
No.
All right, I asked Ruby as well, what should we talk about? And she was no help here tonight. So Ruby, I was inspired by Frankie, because Frankie chimed in on what the question should be. Ruby, give it up, scored on Wednesday nights. Great bucket. By the way, you dominated East, 1 point through 3 quarters. All right, how did it feel to score that bucket the other night?
Honestly, felt like Kevin Durant.
It was pre-scripted. Inspired by... Frankie, you seem like you're an inspiration to a lot of the ladies on the team.
Yeah.
Morgan, that shot was looking good the other night. Knocked down some big threes. Kinsley, you got off to a hot start as well. Knocked down a couple big shots as well there. A couple threes made. Millie's not here, but she was our player of the game, as she had 8 assists and like 5 steals. She played really well. I think she set everyone up a little bit around here. How did everybody kind of feel about that game the other night against Des Moines East?
It was fun.
Boring? Wow. That's... All right, just pass the mic around. Give me some thoughts. We got to have more than one-word thoughts here.
It felt like we were there for like 10 hours.
Does everybody know the story why the game got going an hour late? Yeah, their bus driver drove to Grinnell for some reason, so we were an hour late starting on Wednesday night. So anyway, all right, Mallory, what was the highlight? You got in the other night on Wednesday? You didn't, but you tossed up some threes, which was good. Ruby, all right, Naya as well. You got a steal.
I got a steal, but I didn't make it through.
Why are we all... This is the most negative that you've ever been on here. Everywhere, yeah, but I didn't do this. It was boring.
It's all about the discipline.
Discipline.
Centennial, we got to be on our best.
It's true. It's true. Got to be on your best. Ladies, we will be there, and we will see you, and we wish you best of luck. And hopefully John Pork is there in attendance. Rough, Amira. Got to have that dog in you against Ankeny Centennial. Hey, by the way, last question, Ellie. You were the coach was talking about you. You're the only player on this. Well, you and Sydney, I believe, would. No, Sydney's a junior. So yeah. Well, she's a senior, but she's technically a junior. You're the only team to actually play in the CIML, right?
Yep.
Out of this whole, no one's played in the CIML. All right. Very. Again, the negative. I wasn't trying to go negative. She said it was scarring. So anyway, ladies, I love the round table. Maybe we work on more questions for next year. Is that fair to say? Yes. Appreciate it. Good luck on Saturday. All right. Hey, this has been Bobcat Live. Thanks so much for everybody coming out during the winter sports season and supporting. And be sure to hit the subscribe and like button. And we'll talk to you Saturday from Ankeny Centennial. You've been watching Bobcat Live right here on KFJB-TV.